It's Press Pass with Jack Ebling, Mid-Michigan's spirited sports debate. Now let's get talking sports. Here's Jack.
Great evening, Mid-Michigan and beyond, and welcome to Press Pass here on Fox 47. Believe it or not, we made it through college basketball's regular season and conference tournaments, and just through Selection Sunday, getting ready for the NCAA tournament. It's time to meet Team 389. Rico Beard, longtime Detroit radio and TV personality. Specs Howard, broadcast instructor, recruiting insider, and co-host of the Mike Valeni Show with Rico on 97.1 The Ticket. Rico, how are you?
Jack, I'm doing well. Probably a lot better than they feel in that Michigan State locker room, but I'm doing okay. Selection Sunday is here. Michigan State made it into the tournament.
A lot of feelings of disrespect, but hey, Michigan State is in for a 23rd straight tournament. Some marquee programs are not, and the Spartans will have a chance to prove that beginning against UCLA. Also want to welcome Tom Crawford, Blue Belly Tom, my broadcast partner for almost 19 full years. He is a regular contributor to thewolverine.com, creator of the Crawford Podcasting Network. How's it feel to be a one seed, Tom?
Well, it's kind of disconcerting right now in the Michigan basketball program. This, indefinite loss to Isaiah Livers has just kind of shook me to the core. That I just love that kid. And when that came down, I texted you, I think it was on the night before it happened. I'm trying to think, the days are all kind of just blending together. That was Friday night. It did not look good. And I feel terrible for that kid. But you got to move on, next man up, and we'll see how it goes. And our local guy, Brandon Johns, is going to have his opportunity to contribute in a big way.
I was wondering, with the two of you on tonight, which one of you is going to be Juwan Howard and which one's going to be Mark Turgeon? Tom, since you're the one seed, who do you want to be?
Well, I wasn't brought up in Southside Chicago, so I was brought up on the east side of Lansing. So I don't, it would take somebody throwing a punch at me before I would have reacted quite like that.
Rico, if Juwan had gotten to Mark Turgeon, what would have happened?
Jack, you kind of lose your credibility when your 5'10" guy is charging at you and you're 7 feet tall. Okay, Juwan, what are you going? You could just step on him and this fight is over. Seriously? Yeah. It's funny.
All right. We have tons to talk about, and we're going to start with our Going Green segment up next.
Check this, March is back, so let's make up for lost time with more action on FanDuel Sportsbook, including making someone like you a millionaire. Get a free shot at the $1 million payout every day you bet the tournament.
Do you need help protecting assets and applying for long-term care, Medicaid, or VA benefits? We help protect assets from nursing home expenses. Call Crenshaw Peterson today. We protect you, your family, and your wallet.
PokerStars, the world's #1 poker site, is live in Michigan. Play poker, blackjack, roulette, and hundreds of slot games, all available now on PokerStars. Play against thousands of other players. We've got real money cash games with buy-ins at all levels. Sign up now and we'll chip in $30 free play on your first deposit, or we'll give you a deposit bonus up to $600. Time to go all in, Michigan. Download the PokerStars app now or head to PokerStars.com for legal online poker.
Looking for that right vehicle? RPM has a huge selection to browse from, plus everyone is approved with our easy payment program. At RPM, you can drive off with this Ford Escape or this Jeep Liberty for $60 a week. Plus, full coverage is not required at RPM. You can finance today with PLPD. Find out for yourself why people choose RPM. 2 locations in Lansing, Cedar Street near Jolly, and Grand River and Waverly.
We need your help finding dangerous fugitives.
America's Most Wanted premieres Monday on Fox.
So, I got my start in officiating when a friend told me I should try it. At first, I just did basketball, and I got hooked. Before long, I added baseball, softball, football, and volleyball. I really enjoy giving back to the game, working with kids and working with my local association to recruit and train new officials. I would like to say to anybody that officiating is a great way to help kids and stay connected to the game. We always need new officials. There's help wanted, just listen.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Going Green segment, brought to you by Graf Chevrolet and Graf Nissan on West Grand River in Okemos. With 107 years in the automobile business, they'll take great care of you, as they have on all 7 of my leases and purchases. For a new or used vehicle, go green, go Graf. There you see the East region with Michigan as the number 1 seed and Michigan State in a first 4 game against UCLA. The winner of that matchup of multi-time NCAA champions gets BYU, which scared Gonzaga in the West Coast Conference tournament. And after that would meet Texas, the Big 12 tournament champion. You also see UConn and Maryland, the 10 seed on that side of the bracket, getting to play Alabama, a very dangerous 2 seed and the SEC champion. Rico, as you look at where the Spartans are, what do you think of the seed after 3 wins over teams ranked in the AP top 5, but 9 losses by double digits?
Well, Jeff, just by saying, Michigan State had a very bad season, had a lot of losses, but they did knock off half of the number 1 seeds. It's a joke. It is an absolute joke that you're going to sit here and say they had to be in a playing game when Syracuse is in the regular tournament, when their best win is knocking off Vodtech. They were 16-9. It's an absolute joke, but that's the NCAA, one of the crookedest organizations around. But for your Michigan State, you're playing UCLA. They play a lot similar. They play like a 3-guard, 3 rotation, a small lineup. They're on a 4-game losing streak. So if you're Michigan State, you go out there, you handle your business, and you move on to the next game against BYU.
Tom Izzo always says the goal is to get through the weekend. And to do that now, the Spartans would just have to win 3 games instead of 2 to make it to the Sweet 16. And we'll see if Michigan State can do that. It's going to take better play than we saw in 3 losses to Maryland, and that probably explains why the Terrapins seated 1 line ahead of Michigan State. Tom Crawford, did the selection committee get it right with the Spartans?
Well, having the fact they got to do the quote unquote play-in game or the old Dayton game really shocked me. I thought the Big Ten was going to get better overall respect, and Michigan State had all those, top 5 wins. It was crazy. I was really shocked, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this is such a bad deal. I like the matchup for Michigan State against UCLA. I like the idea of playing in that second game. That would be Saturday, having a game under your belt when you've had such a long layoff. They haven't played since last Thursday. I think this could be a good thing for Michigan State. Getting to now is Monday is your ticket into the to get out of the first weekend. It's kind of shifted back in a couple of regions. So I don't think it's such a bad deal. Are they disrespected? Yes, but I think it could work out for Michigan State.
Rico, I want to take a look at Michigan State's NCAA tournament successes with 10 trips to Final Four under 3 different head coaches. How shocked would you be if MSU found its mojo and pulled 4 upsets of varying degrees to give Tom Izzo his 9th Final Four appearance since 1999? By the way, that's 4 more than Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah, but Chef's got a lot more rings. Jack, I'd simply say I'd be shocked. Be honest, it's insulting that they have to play in this playing game, but it's a reason why they were on the bubble. This was a team that just found shoot itself in the foot, play a lot of bad games with a lot of bad double-digit losses. So Color me shocked. Izzo, he coach of the year if he makes it to the Final Four. How about that?
Tom, with this Michigan State team, it starts and some people say ends with Aaron Henry. We want to take a look at the Aaron Henry factor. And when he has scored 15 points or less in conference play, Spartans are 0-11. And when he has scored 16 or more, they're 9-1. The only outlier was he had 24 points in a loss in Iowa City. Did he deserve to be better than a third-team All-Big Ten player?
Yeah, I think so, Jay. I mean, here's another, maybe not shocked because there's so many good Big Ten players. And this is just such a weird year. Nothing surprises me anymore. I thought he was a lock for a second-team slot. Third, he's so valuable to his team. I mean, he stirs the drink for Michigan State.
Yeah.
And for them to move forward, they got to get players number 2 and 3 consistently to jump in because he can't do this as a one-man act at all.
Dwayne Washington Jr., also a third-team pick, and I thought he was the best player in the Big Ten tournament.
I know, that's crazy here.
Jack, it's so loaded. Who are you going to take out to move Aaron Henry up?
Exactly.
We take one more look at Michigan State against conference foes. Do you think that they might play better against teams that they haven't played time after time? We've seen this a few other times with Michigan State in the tournament.
I think so, Jack. The only problem is they won those games at the end. They aggressive deep. It normally doesn't cut it in the.
We'll be right back with more. We're going to look at the University of Michigan. Up next, our Tracking a Trophy segment here on Press Pass.
The Ticket Machine is your local connection to concert, theater, and sporting event tickets nationwide. Our entertainment experts are ready to help you create a memorable experience, trusted by fans for more than 20 years. Whether you're looking for tickets for your corporate outing, family excursion, or vacation, we offer the best seats and the best prices. Grab a front row seat now on theticketmachine.com.
You're up. There's an old saying, you can never have too many officials. The age of the average official is 52 and getting older all the time. We're constantly recruiting new people, younger people to join us. After you register with the MHSAA, look on the website to find an officials association near you. They'll put you in a position to succeed as an official. We all learned a lot from high school sports, and officiating is a great way to give back to the game. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Touchdown, Falcons. At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Watch Good Neighbors with Bob Hoffman, Friday, only on Fox 47 News at 7.
In these uncertain times, 2 things are critical: keeping costs down and your ability to communicate. The Antenna Men can install a new TV antenna and save you money by cutting the cord with cable and satellite. And Cell Signal Pros can install a cell booster to improve your in-home communications for increased cellular usage. Call the Antenna Men and Cell Signal Pros 7 days a week.
Watch TV for free with the Antenna Man. The Antenna Man.
At Lansing Community College, my future is worth the work. LCC offers transferable classes for 40% less and career-focused programs I can complete in less than 1 year. LCC professors and instructors are online learning experts and bring real-world professional experience into the classroom so I can be confident my education has value. I belong at LCC. You belong here too. Visit lcc.edu/youbelong and enroll today.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Tracking a Trophy segment, brought to you by the Ticket Machine at the corner of Mount Hope and Hagedorn. For the best in sports and entertainment ticketing, whenever those events resume, visit Brian and his terrific staff at theticketmachine.com. Let's take a second look at the East region, this time concentrating on the Michigan Wolverines and the challenge ahead. Michigan gets the winner of a first four game between Mount St. Mary's and Texas Southern, two teams Michigan State has played in past years. Then LSU, a team that nearly won the SEC tournament, or St. Bonaventure, kind of a sneaky 9 seed. You have Colorado as the 5 versus Georgetown, and Georgetown, one of the big surprises getting in the tournament, along with Oregon State. And then a Florida State team that a lot of people think could be in the Final Four or in the national championship game, exceptionally long, versus UNC Greensboro in the 4 versus 13 matchup. Tom, what do you think of U of M's seed position after a stunning 18-1 start and a sputtering injury-plagued 2-3 finish?
Well, the 2 and 3 finish, they lost to, a 1 seed and a 2 seed of those 2 losses. The third one to Michigan State, was in the tournament, so it's not that shameful. But the injuries and just a stagnant offense has me really concerned, and along with the absence of Isaiah Livers that I opened up the show with, talking about that concern. Maybe a miracle will happen and he can work his way back. But Michigan is limping into the tournament, for lack of a better term, although I thought they gave a nice effort down the stretch against Ohio State, and Mike Smith had a good look. I thought they'd go into Hunter, and Ohio State took Illinois into overtime. Big Ten is just brutal. So that's stuff. Where do I think this team is going? I think they can get to the Elite 8, but I think that's where it's going to end. I think they're going to lose to Texas. I watched Texas beat Oklahoma State with Cade Cunningham last night, and they look like they got it back in gear, and that's a very athletic team. I wouldn't want Michigan to play Texas, and I think they would have to get out of the Elite 8 and into the Final Four, and that would be problematic.
So you would have Michigan beating a Florida State team then?
Yeah, I do. I know. It's everybody's buzzing on Florida State. For me, it's always personal situations. I've seen them play a couple times, and they turn the ball over a lot. Every time I look at them, they're turning the ball over. So, and Michigan is very good, at turning, turnovers to touchdowns. So, I think they'll get by Florida State. But I'm worried about Mount St. Mary or, or Texas Southern. That's the way I roll, Jack.
Rico at plus 430 in Vegas on the line to win it all. How surprised would you be if the Wolverines do exactly that?
Jack, now that Livers is going to be out for the year, I'd be highly surprised if they could pull that feat off. I've said it before, even with a healthy Isaiah Livers, I just don't think the Gonzaga is going to get beat. They are just that much better than everybody else. But now, Tom, I think for you, man, you better hope that the St. Bonaventure upsets LSU, because that's one LSU can defend very well. And without Livers, that's going to be a tough second round matchup for Michigan.
But it's the SEC. I'm a big guy on conferences, Rico, and the SEC is no Big Ten. That's you got to look at that element. And everybody's kind of playing their own teams anyway. But
the Wolverines had great shots to win it all, getting to the national championship game in 2013 and 2017. You talked about losing in the Elite 8. Would you take a Final Four trip and a loss in the national semifinals?
But when you get there, you get greedy, though. It hurts no matter what. Yeah, if they get to the Final Four, I'll just say that would be a huge accomplishment with this team without Isaiah Livers, like Rico mentioned.
Rico, who's the rightful Big Ten champ?
They won today.
They won the tournament. They won they're tournament champions. Like Jim Nance said, tournament.
You wanted no parts of them today.
They had 2 more wins and did pretty well in the only matchup of the 2 teams. We will be right back and more talk about the tournament up next here on Press Pass.
At work, at home, at play, Culligan of Lansing delivers refreshing, clean water. Call now to get soft water in your home for only $9.95 per month with our special offer. Culligan of Lansing, better water, pure and simple.
Check this, March is back. The March we all deserve. So let's make up for lost time. With more guaranteed takes from the group thread, more 12s over 5s, mascots over logic. Oh, and the best part? Making someone like you a millionaire. Welcome back, March. Place your first bet risk-free. Plus, everyone gets a free shot at $1 million when they bet the tournament on FanDuel. Game's on. FanDuel Sportsbook.
For over 50 years, Culligan of Lansing has been providing water softeners, water coolers, bottled water, and salt delivery to homes and businesses. Let our family of experts provide high-quality water treatment products for your family. Call Culligan of Lansing today.
Dr. Sheldon Cooper. Cool, redefined.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
It's another fall Friday night, and your kids should be
playing high school football.
It's a fun game, and it's safer than ever.
It's safe because the rules, the coaching, and the equipment are better than ever before.
As a result, serious injuries are at an all-time low. Seriously.
And builds strong schools, lifetime memories, and tomorrow's community leaders.
And it's mother approved.
It's a great game, and we want to teach it to your kids.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for The Big Picture, brought to you by Dean Transportation. Dean is hiring caring and dependable people as school bus drivers in many Michigan markets. Be a hero in your community and safely transport children to and from school with Dean. For more information and to apply, visit deantransportation.com/jobs. That's deantransportation.com/jobs. There you see the top 16 overall seeds. Number 1 overall, Gonzaga Bulldogs. Number 1 in the West, Iowa, number 2 seed. Those teams already met, and Gonzaga thumped them. Kansas and Virginia. In the South, it was Baylor, the number 2 overall, Ohio State, Arkansas, and Purdue. Half of that region, top 4 Big Ten teams in the Midwest, and this was up for grabs with the Big Ten tournament. Illinois, a number 1 seed, Houston, West Virginia, and Oklahoma State. And then in the East, we've talked about this. It's Michigan, Alabama, Texas, and Florida State. Tom Crawford, did the committee get the top 4 teams on the right line in the right order? And can you give me a 4 seed that has a great shot to beat a 1 and advance to the Final Four?
Yeah, this is slow pitch softball on that 4. As far as that 4 seed, we all know who I'm going to pick on that. Rico and I were talking about last week. That's Oklahoma State, and I think it's actually good that they lost to Texas in the Big 12 because that's that's second best conference, and that'll wake them up a little bit. And Oklahoma State, look out for them. If I was Illinois, I'd be nervous with Oklahoma State in that region. I think they got it right. It's a weird year, though. I mean, all over it's a weird year, Jack, when you consider the blue bloods are not what they used to be, and the household names are struggling. Duke didn't even get in. Kansas is not typically Kansas. It's just a wacko year. But I'm just glad that we got the NCAA tournament. We've been waiting 2 years for this day, and it's finally here.
Rico, let's take a look at the first 4 matchups, what they used to call the old play-in games. And these are the last 4 at-large selections, including Michigan State, the 4th to last team in the field, and the 4 weakest automatic qualifiers. What surprises you here?
aside from Michigan State being in there, Jack, I would say maybe Drake being in there too. I thought Drake was a much better team. I thought Drake would have automatically been in the tournament. But other than that, it pretty much looks the same. The lines are out, and it's pretty much either pick 'em games or 1 point advantage. Michigan State's a 1.5 point advantage to defeat UCLA. So, it's pick 'em games. It should be an interesting Thursday night.
Tom, if we take a look at the league championship games and see where some of those teams were seated, we saw 2 major conferences have their champions in as 12 seeds. We're talking about Georgetown. We're talking about Oregon State, picked to finish last in the Pac-12. How surprised are you to see so many major conferences official representatives in the bottom half of the field of 68?
It goes back to that, what I was talking about, just an absolute crazy year. And you're getting some upstart teams that you got to, the buzz is going to be some of these upstart teams that have come out of nowhere. North Texas is an example of that. They haven't been they were one of the worst programs around just 3 years ago, and they're in the tournament. So that's a storyline. And then household name teams are just a lot of them are just not what they used to be. But Oregon State really surprised me. That was a team that was going to get in the tournament.
Yeah.
And they're in. And I thought that was going to knock somebody out, lose a bid that thought they were going to slink in there. I'm not sure how that played out. It hasn't been kind of a whirlwind night for us here. But, that surprised me that Oregon State won. But the Pac-12 is not a very good conference. I'm telling you that right now.
I understand that win last night did knock Louisville out. But the Big Ten, with 9 teams in the field, that is 2 more than any conference, I'm trying to gauge respect or disrespect for the Big Ten, which had 14 of the toughest 16 strengths of schedules and had 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 4, but then a big drop-off down to a 9, 2 10s, and an 11. Tom, was the Big Ten disrespected?
Well, Michigan State was disrespected, but other than that, I think the seeds are pretty good. I think the matchups are pretty decent as well.
Rico, Duke and Kentucky, the bluest of the blue bloods, sitting home, barring a lot of COVID withdrawals where Duke might be able to slink back in. But otherwise, it'll be the first time they've both been on the sidelines since 1976. What does it say that there'll be spectators?
It kind of takes away a little bit of the credibility for a lot of people because you need Duke, you need Kentucky in there. In order to be the man, you got to beat the man, and they're the 2 bluest bloods. And kind of going off of what Tom says, it's going to be interesting because there wasn't a lot of apples-to-apples games because you only saw conference-only games. So you don't know who's good and who's not.
That's exactly right. We really don't.
All right, we will be back in just a minute. Our Take It to the Bank segment. We'll look at what happened in Indianapolis this week. Up next.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Sports give so many opportunities to kids. It gives them an opportunity to see where they fit within a team, persevere, understanding how to work with different personalities. Those are the lessons that will make you a successful adult. As a mom, you have to have an understanding of what concussions are.
Concussions are things that are treatable. If we take care of athletes, they will be able to develop and have a long, happy, healthy life.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Don't miss The Masked Singer, all new Wednesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Hey, Ratchets, look! I'm you!
Jake from State Farm. You couldn't find a stand-in who looked anything like me?
Have you seen mine? It's like looking in a mirror, right?
Now that one makes sense.
Look, guys, I don't even have a stand-in.
Of course you do.
Hold on, is that Drake?
That's right. Drake from State Farm.
Like a good neighbor. Like a good neighbor. Stand-ins don't have lines.
Oh, okay.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Come on down to Grow Generation for all your grow supply needs. We've got it all, from organic nutrients and soils to state-of-the-art hydroponic equipment and lights. Grow Generation has the best product selection, service, and solutions in the industry. Ask about Sun Leaves, our in-house line of nutrients, or check out our brand new Ion 720-watt LED light fixture. Whether you're a novice or a pro, Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for all grow supplies. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Take It to the Bank segment, brought to you by Dart Bank, dedicated to meeting the needs of our banking community for more than 90 years, with 4 convenient locations in Mason, Holton South Lansing, Grand Ledge, and the expanded Home Loan Center in Frandor. That's Dart Bank for what matters most.
Well, we had big-time fireworks while you were away. Technical on Mark Turgeon, a double technical on Juwan Howard, who has been ejected from this game. And he was incredibly animated. But Turgeon remains. He just had 1 technical. But here is what happened. You see Juwan Howard starting to yell out something at the other side. And then there was some jawing back and forth between he and Mark Turgeon. Look at this. I mean, it got really testy, Sean.
It did, and the officials did a good job of stepping in before what was a bad situation could have gotten progressively worse. And now, what is always a tough job if you're an official, especially at this level, just became even more so because you're going to have to make sure that what happened as we went to break doesn't seep over.
You look at the assistants that had to keep Juwan Howard back. And he was hot. You see Daryl Morcell was in the mix as well. That was Larry Serrato ejecting Juwan Howard.
There you see what happened Friday in Lucas Oil Stadium with Juwan Howard and Mark Turgeon. And Tom Crawford, obviously there was some history at play here. Who is to blame for what happened? And Juwan channeling his inner John Chaney and allegedly threatening to kill Mark Turgeon.
Well, I mean, it evolved initially from Hunter Dickinson on New Year's Eve. He felt disrespected in the recruiting process when he was at Hyattsville DeMatha that Maryland didn't come at him strong enough. I think that was kind of the core of that. And he was doing some woofing during that game and during the rematch in Ann Arbor. I don't like that stuff typically. And Mark Turgeon, he complained in the Big Ten. Juwan never heard anything about it. So there's some differential on that. But the problem I think, guys, is when you don't have fans, you can hear too much. You can hear scuttle that you would never hear before. I think that was part of it. And Morcell comes over there. He gets involved. Turgeon makes a movement, and Juwan apologized. He was at fault. There was a lot of bad that came out of that thing. It was not a good look at all.
Let's take another look, and there you see the score by halves of the rematch with Michigan State and Maryland. That would have been a great conference tournament final in 2020 with 2 conference regular season co-champs. But Rico, how did MSU build a 23-11 lead in this game and then get outscored 48-17?
Oh my God, Jack. A couple of things. One, Michigan State stopped being aggressive. They wanted to hit the 3 shot. They wanted to go for the hero shot. It's what I like to say, how Steph Curry has ruined basketball. Everybody wanted to hit that big 3. And Maryland was like, well, if you don't want it, we'll drive to the basket. Now, Bo Borowski, Michigan State's 1-6 when he's with the ref, apparently doesn't like their style of aggression. Maryland shoots and hits 18 free throws. They had more points at the free throw line than points in the first half. But Michigan State stopped being aggressive. They just started shooting the three. Yeah. Same thing that happened to Maryland against Michigan. Maryland just started shooting threes, and Michigan came back and won.
Tom, let's take a look at Michigan's games in Lucas Oil Stadium. And with the comeback win against Maryland, they were down 12 early. And then another comeback came up just short against OSU on the last shot. What did you make of that ill-advised three?
Yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, feed the beast. I mean, to get to Hunter, that's what I was thinking. And you're going down the last shot. That's throwing it all on one play like that. I was disappointed, but and I don't know how they would have done against Illinois. They probably would not have won. But maybe it's good that this team just had that extra day because they're hurting right now and they're a little bit out of sync. And they're going to have to find some contribution from Shawnee Brown. They got to get some offensive contribution without Livers because otherwise it's going to be a struggle to make a deep run in this NCAA tournament, especially for a team that has not been in sync now for almost 3 weeks with that big win in Columbus over Ohio State.
Rico, the championship game today, Illinois over Ohio State in overtime. Ohio State playing 4 games and 2 overtimes in a span of about 76 hours. Did the best team win it all?
The best team did win it all, Jack, but imagine if Kyle Young had played for Ohio State. Yeah. Ohio State may have won this game. I mean, he was not available for their last 2 games, but man, what a game.
We'll be right back. We're going to talk about Pistons, Lions, Tigers up next on Press Pass.
The Holt and Diamondale Insurance Agency works with all of its clients, like the Howard Hanna real estate executives, to protect your risks. Auto Owners Insurance provides flexible coverage for personal, professional, and farm insurance needs. Call your hometown team today.
Have you experienced the comfort of a well-fitting bra? Visit Bras That Fit for the support your body deserves. With sizes in stock from 32A to 54K. We carry the perfect fit for all seasons, from elegant styles to sportswear, swimwear, and more. For the perfect fit, come see us at Bras That Fit.
Check this, March is back. The March we all deserve. So let's make up for lost time. With more guaranteed takes from the group thread, more 12s over 5s, mascots over logic. Oh, and the best part? Making someone like you a millionaire. Welcome back, March. Place your first bet risk-free. Plus, everyone gets a free shot at $1 million when they bet the tournament on FanDuel. Game's on. FanDuel Sportsbook.
Nobody can read between the lines like Judge Judy.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
At Graf Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else, peace of mind. Every Graf used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at grafokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graf Chevrolet in Okemos.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Law of the Jungle segment, brought to you by Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, your healthy alternative to fast food. Eat Woody's and live longer. Stop and see Chuck, Delita, and their terrific staff for the best in Mediterranean food. That's why I'm there every week. We are past the All-Star break in the NBA season, and here you see the updated Detroit Pistons 16-man roster. And Rico Beard, there are no All-Stars on this list. There are an awful lot of no stars. But when you think of this team now, minus Derrick Rose, minus Blake Griffin, Hamidou Diallo coming in place of Svi Mykhailiuk, what do you make of this team moving forward? Is there any hope for the future with this group? And what do you make of the job that new GM Troy Weaver has done?
Troy Weaver, let me ask you a second question first. Troy Weaver has done a fantastic job. He has flipped this entire roster, other than Sekou Doumbouya. Everybody who's been on the team for the last 2 years, gone. Nobody is there. Now, it's not a good team. Of course, there are no all-stars on this team, but that's what you want. You want the Pistons to be in a spot to go after Cade Cunningham, the number 1 pick of the draft next year, to let him come in. I know Killian Hayes was drafted last year, but he's been injured. It's going to take him a while to get acclimated. Cade Cunningham can help this team out right now. If you're the Pistons, keep losing.
If you can't get Cade Cunningham, let's say you finish second with the lottery balls. Do you like Jalen Suggs? Is there someone else you can take as a consolation prize?
Jack, I was about to say Jalen Suggs. If you happen to get multiple first-round picks, and if you miss out on the point guards, Ayo Dosunmu with a late first-round pick, I would not be angry if he's a point guard for the Pistons.
Tom Crawford, you said last week that you were not impressed by what you had seen, and you didn't see a lot of hope for this franchise moving forward, but can you give me any players off of that list who you think will be contributors the next time the Pistons win a playoff series, whenever that is?
Well, Isaiah Stewart might be there. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of movement still. I mean, because you got Jeremy Grant, Plumlee, these guys are going to be probably put up for trade. I watched them last night. When Michigan lost last night, I said, I got to get away from college basketball. I actually watched the Pistons in Brooklyn last night. I want to see James Harden.
Wow.
I do need to get a life. I granted, but they're 10-28. They're the second worst team in the NBA, but the second youngest team in the NBA. But Rico goes and says, yeah, it's good that what Troy Weaver's doing. This is great. He's super aggressive. How the hell you know if it's going to be any good? You don't know. You have no idea if it's going to work. Because because you're making changes, you think it's going to be, that's a good thing.
No, but it's better than what you have. You think long term. They're getting out of mediocrity. That's where the Pistons were every year, flirting with the 8th pick. That just means you get beat by the number 1 seed. In order to get a superstar on this team, they have to do it during the draft. No free agents are going to come to Detroit. It's not a destination city.
So you just want them to be bad, so they get top picks, so you get a new car every year, a new flavor every year. That's why you're rolling right now.
Tom, LeBron ain't coming here. Giannis ain't coming to Detroit. You have to draft your superstars. In order to do that, you need high draft picks.
Okay.
They get an incomplete on Killian Hayes, but I do see some things out of Sadiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart, as you mentioned, that might give us a little bit of hope. Rico, I want to take a look at the NFC North quarterbacks. And obviously, Green Bay having a big edge with Aaron Rodgers. Kirk Cousins with the Vikings, I guess, would be next, although there were rumors that the Vikings were entertaining notions of trading him to the 49ers if the deal had been right. And then you got the Bears with Mitchell Trubisky, and they're still trying to get Russell Wilson. The Lions with Jared Goff, he may be a placeholder. As you look at this, which team has the second best signal caller behind Rodgers, and which one is the worst?
I would say Mitchell Trubisky, but he can beat the Lions every year. So I guess I'm going to still go with that. He'll still beat the Lions. Cousins probably the second best, but Jack, watch out for that Russell Wilson thing, because I think Chicago they may throw a Herschel Walker type deal to Seattle, because They need a quarterback right now. Now, they won't have anybody to block for Russell, but they think that Russell Wilson as a Bear could help them out. But as of now, I would say Cousins is number 2.
Okay. Tom, when you said you watched the Pistons, I didn't think that was terrible. If you'd said that you watched the Tigers exhibition games that you had taped, I would have really been worried. But when we look at what the Tigers did this week and you think of where they are, what's your impression so far after a second week of games?
Well, they're 7-6. I mean, exhibition play. What does that mean? Grapefruit play? You don't really know. Spencer Turnbull looked good on the mound. Who knows? They'll probably be a 65, 70 win team by the time it's done.
That's about right. That's progress. All right, we'll be right back, and we're going to talk about the MHSAA and winter sport tournaments and playoffs coming up on Press Pass.
Poker Stars, the world's #1 poker site, is live in Michigan. Play poker, blackjack, roulette, and hundreds of slot games, all available now on Poker Stars. Play against thousands of other players. We've got real money cash games with buy-ins at all levels. Sign up now and we'll chip in $30 free play on your first deposit. Or we'll give you a deposit bonus up to $600. Time to go all in, Michigan. Download the PokerStars app now or head to PokerStars.com for legal online poker.
Play your first 24 hours risk-free and get up to $200 back if you don't win.
Fox47news.com/rebound for ways to make ends meet.
At Graff Chevrolet in Okemos, you'll always get a great deal on a huge selection of high-quality used cars and trucks. But you'll also get something else. Peace of mind. Every Graff used vehicle purchase comes with up to 6 oil changes for the first 2 years of ownership. We'll also give you free tire rotation with every other oil change. Always a great selection of used vehicles starting from $1,000 and up. Check them out at graffokemos.com. Lower your cost of ownership with our Peace of Mind program, only at Graff Chevrolet in Okemos.
Call it a sense of purpose, a higher calling. At Dean Transportation, we call it our passion. It's simply who we are. 60 years of pioneering the best health and safety standards because safe student transportation is essential. We are hard-working folks, connecting children to learning, schools to our communities, and you to a better career. Want to make Mid-Michigan a better place? We'll put you in the driver's seat. Join the Dean family today and help to connect our kids to brighter futures.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for our Value and Values segment, brought to you by the Michigan High School Athletic Association, a statewide organization with a proud history. The MHSAA supports broad-based opportunities for growth and teaches life lessons through the value and values of high school athletics. The colleges aren't the only ones that are going to be in tournament play throughout the month of March. A lot of people wrapped up in the high school state tournaments. Tom Crawford, when you look at the schedule of events here, you have to feel pretty good that the MHSA has a plan. It looks like some of these teams are going to get a chance to compete, to finish these seasons, and that's a positive for an awful lot of young people.
Yeah, because I go back to a year ago, and I know a lot of high school basketball players around here locally, how disappointed they were that they couldn't finish that. They had started actually district play, and all of a sudden it was pulled out from under them. And so, hey, they're getting it done. You know, they're masking up on the court, and I get that. And there's still some teams struggling, staying healthy from COVID. But it would be awesome if this is finished and then they get to actually crown a champion.
Rico, taking another look at those dates, what are the chances that the success the MHSAA had with a delayed playoff/tournament format for the fall sports into January could happen here, and we actually get to crown champions in the winter sports seasons.
Jack, I think they may actually have gotten lucky for the fact that so many different vaccines are out now that you're not in the same situation that you were in the fall. I think we're able to finish all of this up, and you may have a week or two, but they may be able to finish everything up on schedule, hoping that, like I said, numbers low or stay the same, and with the amount of vaccines getting infused into the crowd, into the people, this helps them out a lot.
Tom, Grand Rapids Christian, a proud program of perennial power and a team that has had a lot of success in state tournaments, announced that it will not play next week. It will not complete the regular season, and it does have a chance for a conference championship, but it's taking every precaution to be eligible for the state tournament. Do you think we're going to see a lot of other teams making that decision?
You might, although Grand Rapids Christian's one of those big, those are big time programs. Dwayne Washington, Xavier Tillman, we know what kind of kids have come out of there. It doesn't surprise me because they're eyeing the big crown and not that. It's going to be tough sledding, I think, here for the next few weeks.
Tom, I want to take another look at the 9 Mid-Michigan state champions in boys basketball beginning in the year 2000. And last week we talked with Carlton Valentine. We talked with him about the Sexton Big Reds championships in 2011 and 2012 when he had 5 college players. Aside from that team, which of the area champs from the past 20 tournaments was your favorite?
Well, personally, my favorite was Lansing Catholic 2008. My mom's next door neighbor, Mike Repos, who was like a son to him, led his team to that crown. That was big. And I liked that when Holt won in 2005. That was a Class A crown, the third one in about span of 5 years. That's pretty good for the city of Lansing, the greater Lansing area.
Hey, Rico, I had a chance today to talk with Marcus Taylor. And you think back to 2000 when he was such a tremendous force for Lansing Waverly, a state champion, and then he winds up coming to Michigan State with Zach Randolph, his buddy. That was a pretty special time for Mid-Michigan, too.
Yeah, that was, Jack. I remember everybody he was going to be the next Magic Johnson. I'm like, let's let him be the first Marcus Taylor. How about we just do that?
Hey, he led the Big Ten in scoring and assists. He was just the second player to do that. We'll be right back. Our Cool and Smooth segment, Weekly Awards, up next.
Anyone who's had our chicken knows it's plump and juicy. What they may not know is that it's also 100% natural.
All our chickens are certified, humanely raised, no antibiotics, on a high-quality diet of soy and grain.
Why are they called tenders?
They're called tenders because they come from the tenderloin of the breast, hand-trimmed just for colors. It's not a strip or a finger, it is the true tenderloin.
I'll put our chicken tenders up against anybody's.
That's like my Granny Franklin used to make. That's outstanding, Craig.
Welcome to Delicious.
What's really important to me is being able to have a partner, and Dart Bank has been that for me. I'm Eric Nelson. I'm a managing partner here at the English Inn. I've worked with John Morris at Dart Bank to help put together multiple projects that have assisted us with growing our business and continuing to be successful.
Woody's Oasis, your healthy alternative to fast food. Woody's has the best Mediterranean food in town. Stop and see Chuck and Delita. They'll make you feel like family. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff is always willing to help.
Hi, how are you doing today? Do you want to do the homemade bread with it, or did you want to do the thin bread as a side?
They'll be sure to put a smile on your face. And as lifelong supporters of MSU athletics, you never know who might stop by. Eat Woody's and live longer.
Coulda, shoulda, Woody's.
Woody's Oasis on Trowbridge Road, right next to campus.
Can you guess the hidden talent? Game of Talents, all new Wednesday on Fox.
Illuminate your home with Capital Lighting of East Lansing. Our beautiful selection of fixtures will make your whole house shine. We have thousands of styles and finishes available, from modern looks to classic designs. Visit today at Capital Lighting of East Lansing, where bright ideas begin.
If you're looking to buy a car, try Glenbugy Chevrolet in Eaton Rapids.
Or do you want to get your car serviced? Glen Bugy Chevrolet in Eaton Rapids services all makes and models. From price to selection to service, it's better at Bugy.
Welcome back to Press Pass here on Fox 47. It's time for a cool and smooth segment brought to you by 4 great Culver's locations in mid-Michigan. Okemos North and South, North Lansing, and West Lansing. Since 1984, Culver's has been delighting guests one meal at a time with scrumptious butter burgers and premium frozen custard. Swing through any Culver's drive-thru and grab your fresh favorites. That's Culver's. Welcome to delicious.
There you see one of the greatest fighters in boxing history, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, and Marvelous was not a nickname. That became his legal first name. And you want to go back and watch some exciting action, go back and check out the first round of the Hagler-Hearns fight, and then the fight he had, the 12-rounder with Sugar Ray Leonard. I still think Hagler won that fight, but he died Saturday at age 66. All right, team 389. Let's talk a little bit about what we have for our awards of the week and who has been as cool and smooth as a Culver's mint explosion. Rico Beard, what do you have for our play of the week?
Jack, before I get to the play of the week, let me agree with you. Hagler did win that fight with Sugar Ray. He beat him. I don't know what the judges were looking at. As play of the week, hey, here we go. We're recording on this, right? Tom, you can never say, I've never said anything nice about your team. Hunter Dickinson stripping E.J. Liddell, getting the ball, and not only stealing it from him, but putting up a one-handed, off-balance layup to get in as Michigan tried to come back to beat the Buckeyes. I love it. I got to give it up when big fellas do things. And Hunter, you get the play of the week.
Oh God, I'm speechless right now. It came out of his ball.
That was a tremendous play, and I thought E.J. Liddell had money on the game at the end between the missed dunk when they're up 9, and then the giveaway with Hunter Dickinson, and then he's driving for another easy basket, and he tries to knee the ball out of bounds. He would have gone.
Got to get that money somehow, man. Until that name, image, and likeness turns in, you got to make your money somehow.
Tom, what do you have for us for our team of the week?
This is an easy one. An old name in NC2A basketball, the Georgetown Hoyas. I mean, they were the 8th seed in their going to their conference tournament in the Big East, and they hammered Creighton 73-48. Patrick Ewing did a great job with his team, and this marked when they did that in the 49th anniversary that Georgetown hired John Thompson. So how fitting is that? So the Hoya is my team of the week. And that's an upset. That's a chic pick, a 12/5. People say, hey, take Georgetown to win that first round game.
Faith, let's put that back up there for just a second, that graphic of Patrick Ewing and Rick Pitino. And Patrick Ewing, just like old times with Georgetown. And Rick Pitino, guys, what kind of odds could you have gotten before the season if you had said that Pitino's former teams, Kentucky and Louisville, were not going to be in the field?
Wow.
The Iona Gales would be.
That's a good one. Unbelievable.
Wow,
New Rochelle,
Jack,
New York.
I got to give you credit for that one. Wow.
Yes, that's digging right there.
Never thought we'd see that. And someone asked Pitino what he thought. And he said, hey, we don't make it to the Final Four, then he's quitting. So I think he was having a little bit of fun with it. But a lot of players, a lot of teams had big weeks. And for our player of the week, I want to give it to whoever came up with that idea for the masks for the Oregon State Beavers. They had been picked last. And so all the masks, hand designed, said not 12th. They weren't 12th in the Pac-12. They were very happy about that. They wanted everyone to know it. Also, how about a shout out to Drew Brees retiring after a spectacular 20-year career in National Football League, the best Big Ten quarterback of all time in my mind. And I still wonder what would have happened if he could have passed the physical and joined Nick Saban in Miami. Saban might never have gone back to Alabama. And who knows what would have happened to Brees. Want to thank